Hey folks, Scott Hennen here, holding in my hot little hand a copy of Grassroots, a common sense action agenda for America. And you, yes you, can have an autographed copy of this. All you need to do is like our fan page, the all-new Scott Hennen fan page. We got 3,000 plus friends, which we're pretty proud of. But now it's time to crank up the fan page and have you win an autographed copy of this. I'll sign it for you right, in the inside pages. In fact, that one I signed for Governor Plenty, as a matter of fact. So, got to ship that off to him. He's mentioned in the book. Michelle Bachmann's in the book. Speaking of Michelle Bachmann, she was the topic of our conversation on the Common Sense Club and the Scott Hennen Show today. You might have caught her on Chris Wallace's Fox News Sunday, where he said, "Hey, are you a flake?" There's a nice question. Most of you didn't like that. Bob Schieffer was badgering her, saying, "Well, you've said this and you've said that." It's funny to contrast how they ask questions. Michelle did a nice job of sort of sidestepping the question by saying, Barack Obama said if we just spend all these trillions, we'll have, all these jobs. Where's the jobs? But does Bob Schieffer from Face the Nation ask President Obama the question? Of course not. Anyway, that was an interesting topic, and we also, of course, updated things on the Minot flood front. Mayor Kurt Zimbelman shared some interesting statistics. I jotted them down here. 4,100 affected structures impacted by the flood fight in Minot. Of those, 805 homes, impacted structures, most of them are homes, have 10 feet or more, at least 10 feet of damage. Can you believe that? The lion's share of that, 4,100, 2,376 have 6 to 10 feet of damage. The next highest number is 2 to 6 feet, about 800 people, and then just 132 have a half a foot to 2 feet. So at least a half a foot of damage in the 4,100 impacted structures, so a basement full plus a half foot, and on up to 10 feet of damage. Absolutely extraordinary. Also talked to Major General David Spitznatic for an update on the flood fight there. There's now about 1,300 Guard and Reserve soldiers in the flood fight statewide, and the lion's share of them would be in Minot and the region, and it's a tough battle, that's for sure. Also talked to Steve Carbonell. Steve Carbonell, of course, of the Salvation Army, and he recaps some ways you can help the Salvation Army, help the good people of Minot. They're going literally door to door eventually with nutrition and food and sustenance and water, and some of the spiritual care as well, which is necessary. I mean, they're doing mobile feeding units. They're giving you a sandwich, they're giving you water. But the nice thing about Salvation Army is they're not afraid to do a little spiritual care. It's a ministry after all. So help the Salvation Army, help the good people of Minot as well. And Congressman Rick Berg also talked a lot about the Minot flood fight and the effort by Governor Dalrymple to get President Obama here. Congressman Berg said, "Hey, I hope Obama comes. He needs to see this firsthand." One of the things he's worried about is there's so few people in shelters because so many people have neighbors helping them that ultimately he thinks that could be a sign that, hey, they're fine, they don't need help, which is obviously not the case. And we also talked to Minnesota State Senator Gretchen Hoffman. She and a few other legislative leaders are hosting a tea party tomorrow night in Fergus Falls, and yours truly, the chairman of the Common Sense Club, will be emceeing that event. So a busy show on the Common Sense Club and the Scott Hennen Show, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow with your help. Call us toll-free 24/7, 855-200-1776, or drop me an email, scott@scotthennen.com. And thanks for watching and listening to the Common Sense Club.